Night Vision. Following clues left by our ancestors, we unbury the past to reveal a knowledge of unfathomable value, putting us just a little closer to our own true birthrights. From the secret history of a possible bloodline of Jesus Christ, the secret history of America's founders, to the secret history of extraterrestrial interaction on our planet, here to bring light to the night. Your host for Night Vision Radio, Renee Barnett.
Hey everyone, welcome to Night Vision, or welcome back if you've been here before. Our sort of raison d'etre is to cover the worlds of history and mystery. We do a lot of history on this show, a lot of it having to do with the subjects regarding the sort of Da Vinci Code ideas, European history, the royal bloodlines, and all that sort of thing. And we also like to cover things that are strange and unusual, or things that are amazing. And that's what this show tonight is going to be about. My guest tonight is someone I actually became acquainted with a few years ago. And he's quite unusual in the field of the paranormal, in that he has an uncanny ability, or things just seem to happen around him. He has the ability to somehow harness the sort of universal energy and actually make things happen. He's done some healing work. He started out with some animals, and then he eventually thought, well, maybe I can do this for humans. So we're going to get into that. That's going to be mostly toward the second hour of the show. But we're also going to get into some great evidence of his paranormal powers and his relationship with an entity. That's what I'll call her for now, because I'm not quite sure what she is. An entity named Becky, who's been with him for some years. And she communicates with him. She gives him clues about things like missing people, missing bodies. And she's sort of by his side at all times. And interestingly, recently he's become engaged to a lovely woman by the name of Kool, Hale. And Patty and Becky get along just fine. And so we're going to talk to Patty as well tonight, but we're talking about Don Phillips. A lot of you may have already seen some of his evidence on YouTube or on other programs, but we're going to get down into it tonight and see just what's at the root of this power that he seems to be able to harness. And, I like to concentrate on people who seem to be either doing something completely unique, or, whatever it is they're doing, they're sort of like the top of the game. And so in that line of thinking, I invited also on with me tonight a mutual friend of Dawn's and mine. And of course, you all know our very own Tony Rathman. Whoops, I was trying to get you up there, Tony. Here we go. There we go. There you are. I'm not a techno genius, as you can tell. But okay.
All right, hi there. I got it. I muted it.
Hi,
How you doing, Renee?
Thank you so much for joining me. Now, the reason I was saying, people at the top of their game, Tony's another one. It's like, I've known Tony now for a couple of years. I think maybe about 3 years or
3 or 4 now, I think. Yep.
And, someone reached out to me to tell me about him. And he sent me some audio, and I asked him to do something for me that's not, I think he wasn't generally doing at that time. Now, Tony's specialty is EVP, and he's got this, he's got more than one now, I guess. Yeah. These pieces of equipment that he's built that are just absolutely the most incredible I guess you call them ghost boxes, or a supersonic Frank box
Right.
that I've ever witnessed. And it was proven to me when I put you on the spot and asked you, do you think you could contact someone? And you said, well, that's not really what I do. But you told me about an incident that had just happened fairly recently, whereby our friend Tracy Austin, who has the Tracy Austin show right here on KGRA, had given you a picture of herself, or of herself and her dad.
Herself and her father, right.
And so you said, you asked him, you were trying to reach him, and you asked him, who's that in the picture?
Yeah, Tracy had sent the photo. She didn't know that I was actually going to use the photo in reaching out to her father through the spirit box. But she sent the photo just so that I could see what her dad looked like. And so I said to the spirit box, I said, okay, I'm holding a photo. The photo has you in it and one other person. Who's the other person in the photo? And his voice came through the spirit box and said, that's me, daughter. And I thought right. I thought that was kind of strange at first. I'm like, me? Why didn't he say my? And then Tracy explained,
no,
that's how the accent
is from the north of England, and that's how they say it. Absolutely.
Right. She says, if we were to say that's me cat, that's me car, that's how we say it. She goes,
yeah,
that was him. So
that's my daughter.
Yeah.
That was so wild. And it's so, we got into a few things after that. We did a couple of streaming live stream specials at with the Dark Zone.
Yep.
And I think you're continuing to do some things with them.
I am.
And so it's such a small world. It's like, then, I spoke with you the other day and you mentioned Don Phillips, and I said, wait a minute, I know him. But I have a little admission to make. It's like, I got spooked about Don and about the entity that, is with him, called Becky. And, because, and I thought it was Don that told me this, but I figured out now it wasn't. But someone had told me that anyone that, is around Don will start having bad things happen. And that, start having bad luck, extreme bad luck. And at that time, all these things had just started happening in my life, deaths and different things. And I thought, could it be, it's like I'm cursed by Becky and everything. But then when we reconnected, when I saw that you were talking to him and I said, I'm scared to death of Becky. And you said, really? Like, why would you be scared of Becky? And so I talked to Don. He says, I never told you that, but I remembered who told me that. And it was another gentleman. I'm not going to out him, but it was
right.
a Scottish investigator, author who I had on my show, who had originally told me about Don. And that's how I ended up getting in contact with Don in the first place. But he told me that. And I think we'll talk a little bit about that later on when Don and Becky get here, but and Patty, of course. But in the meantime, we'll wait till he gets here, and I'll.
I see him. I see him on the bottom. Looks like he has connected. But you know what? A lot of people that have that impression of what you explained, and whoever this gentleman was that said that, don't probably fully understand how Don works, what he's capable of. There's always the initial jump from people in the paranormal that if somebody's having any kind of constant contact, that they automatically assume it's negative or demonic.
Well, that's exactly what it was. And so what I did was I was looking at that. There's a video, which is really great. I don't know if it's out for public consumption. I think it's on Dawn's website, that shows these guys having a debate about what Dawn is doing and about Becky.
Yeah, Steve Mayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that gentleman that I'm talking about was in that video.
Oh, okay. Then I know exactly who you're talking about.
He kept saying, well, what is it? What if it's a demon and blah, blah, blah.
No.
So anyway, so then I put it all together and I thought, that's who told me that. And I was saying how ironic that, one person can say something and it has ripple effects,
It does.
And
unfortunately.
I thought, wow.
Yeah,
just
unfortunately,
that thing made me have some kind of a negative thing. And then later in my recollection, I thought it was Don himself that told me that, but it never was. I'm going to see if I can get Don Phillips on with us now. I was going to ask you a few questions, but we may as well say hello to him and have him join in on this conversation. Have I got him?
You have.
Rudy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How you doing? I'll just move this a little. Hold on.
Good.
Oh, man.
Are you social distancing from the camera?
No. Let me tell you what the delay was. Okay, so I've got this very nice microphone. Okay, so what I figured is I'll put the extension cable on this, running over there to the laptop, and we've got studio sound. Okay. It wouldn't recognize the device. So then I thought, not a problem. I got my backup snowball. Until I went to put the lead in and found that the socket's actually broken, so that didn't work either. So sorry for the delay. I'm here now. We're actually working off the Logitech audio on the webcam, so if it sounds atrocious, I can only apologize for that.
It just sounds not quite loud enough, but maybe Bill, our producer, can work with that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could sort it out, given another 10 or 15 minutes, but I am aware that I was 10 minutes late anyway, and then it's going to be another 10 minutes, there's 20 minutes, and, We were
holding down the fort. We were holding down.
Let's see if I can do this. Is that a little bit better?
A little help from my friends.
It sounds like you're using the webcam.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay, so so just getting closer to it.
Closer to your webcam, Mike.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump off so I can load his videos because I haven't had the opportunity to load them yet.
Perfect. Come back soon. In a little while.
Yeah. All right.
Good to see you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. We'll see you back in a few minutes.
Bye.
So Don, I was I don't know if you heard any of the beginning, but I was talking about sort of how I knew you, and it was by this other person who I didn't name. But then when I saw the video of the debate about you and Becky, about Becky, the entity that is with you, I recognized that's who the person was. And that was the person that had sort of scared me away, So actually, I think I probably owe Becky somewhat of an apology, because I got the total wrong impression without verifying. And I learned a lesson from that. I thought, golly, one more remark.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Because a lot of people will never understand the union, the relationship I've got with Becky and how we work. It is different, okay? And to some people, it is scary. So they just form assumptions off of that,
Right.
At the end of the day, I mean, I've had it all over the years. I've been around a long time. I've done it all. I've seen it all and heard it all, quite literally. And it's like, you don't know what you're messing with. You'll burn in hell and everything. And Becky's a demon. And okay, so as I mentioned to you earlier, we had a little chat this morning. Let's assume Becky is a demon. Okay. Now, the reason that me and Becky are trying to do what we're trying to do with this show and everything. The work that we're trying to get off the ground for, and this is a together thing, me and Becky. This was planned like 6-7 years ago. A conversation.
Yeah, I remember it when we talked before.
So
you said the same
not
thing.
into great detail. Basically, it's all to do. I'm not going to go into any detail. Helping terminally ill and vulnerable children. That's what me and Becky's all about. Okay, and trying to do some good. Okay, so there's that, and then there's the healing thing that we do. you know, with the animals, and I understand you've got some nice clips coming up later, Renee.
I do.
So all things being said, before I shed my mortal coil, if I have been deceived by a demon, and in that time I've actually managed to do good, being deceived or not, which I really know is not the case, but nevertheless, if I'm helping vulnerable and terminally ill children, helping people and animals, and I go to hell, do you know what? That's a pretty bad deal, but so be it.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure there is a hell, but you know,
No, well, yes, that's a whole other thing. I mean, I was talking
there
generally.
didn't used to be a hell. You know,
Yeah, you know what?
hell came later. You know.
I'm a very privileged person to be able to do what I do and have the relationship, which is unprecedented, with Becky, and what we're able to achieve. Right? This is nothing new. This kind of thing's been going on since I was extremely young. So, you know, the paranormal is not weird or odd or abnormal. To me, my whole life, it's normal. It's part of who I am and what I do. You know, I understand people have different concepts and perceptions of paranormal and what it is or what it is, what it's not, what it could be. But at the end of the day, me and Becky do good work, and we will continue to do that in the hope we can achieve our objectives, put some credibility back into the field of paranormal research, which is very, very sadly lacking, has been for many, many years. And that's where we're at right now.
Well,
Okay.
can you, for people who may not know, and I want to know more about it, although you know, we've talked about this before, but can you just kind of just tell the story of how Becky came into your consciousness? How did you know about what happened? And
okay, first of all, Becky didn't come into my consciousness because that suggests that I'm hearing things in my head and everything, and that's not how it works at all.
no, I mean, when did you become aware?
Okay, from a very young age, I had some things that happened, and I had spirits around all my life and everything. So communicating with spirits with me it's just been second nature. It's never been a problem to me. Becky was probably 10 years ago on investigation. There was what I would call a portal open a residential address, which I was investigating. It was a poltergeist case. I think you've actually seen that photograph, haven't you, of the portal and what's coming from it, Renee?
Portal? Yes.
Okay. And it was on that case I was introduced to Becky. I was sitting there with a colleague at the time called Tony, and I was aware of this woman. Well, I was aware of this presence. And I mean, I don't read too much into this, but I'm just being honest. We were sitting on the sofa. I said, I can feel a presence here. And the one and only time I've ever felt this, and it's not like a wind, it was like something physical, and it just literally felt like it just went straight into me, you know. It was an absolutely incredible experience. Then it was that was my introduction to Becky. Asked her name. Oh no, we did an experiment first. I said, can you take the temperature down? It went down 20 degrees in, I think it was 12 minutes, which is again pretty unprecedented. That's on my channel as well. And when I said, can you take the temperature back up again? Becky went, yes, yes. I was really impressed with that. So then I started talking to her over quite a long time, because this was a very bad ongoing case. It went national and news, TV, and everything. But what was going on there, we were certainly the most haunted house I've ever been in, literally. I was obviously... Was
that in England?
Yeah, I was obviously curious, a little bit dubious, a little bit skeptical, a little bit suspicious. So over a long period of time, I had this conversation with Becky. And I guess one of the pinnacle moments, I went to an investigation, Abbey Park, to the council wanted me to investigate some ruins, the Abbey Park ruins. And it was about a week or two before then, I was last at Gainers, and I mentioned to Becky, I said, you know, if you can get there and help me, that'd be fantastic. And as weird as this sounds, she said, yeah, I will be there. Now, I'd forgotten all about this. So I'm there with my then team, just recorders and everything else, and felt this presence. And I put the recorder on. I said, who's that? She went, it's Becky. I'm pardon the French, but I said, you got to be shitting me. she turned up. That to me was incredible, and the relationship carried on, formed from there, and for a long time.
When was that, Don?
Oh, that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
That was 10 years ago.
Now, prior to that,
let me just
you
say,
have an indication that you had some sort of special connection with the paranormal?
Yeah, but I'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
Becky was still residing at this place where we kind of met for a long time. And it was when I said, Becky, would you come on my cases and help me? Okay. And she basically, this sounds crazy to people, I know, but sometimes the truth is crazy. It took her a couple of weeks, and then she said yes. And I invited her to my place where I reside. And it was for a few days. I said, Becky, are you with me yet? And she went, no, not yet. And then one time I asked her, she went, yes. And then I knew that she was with me. And she's been with me every single day, 24/7 for the last 10 years, and that's really something. And it's not a case of, it's a spirit, there's voices on the recorder. I don't treat her as a spirit. I don't treat her as a ghost. I treat her as a person, because to me, that's exactly what she is. She's very intelligent.
Have you ever seen her?
No. And again, you know what? There's a lot of people that do paranormal investigations, research, and there's some charlatans. I mean, I get amazing evidence, which and to me viewers might.
I know that, yeah.
So if I said, oh, I can see Becky, chances are everyone's going to believe me, because look at everything else she's got. Why should he be able to see her as well? Truth being, no, I've never seen Becky. I can't see Becky. The only time we came close is when I was in a mill workshop, and I was asking if she could appear, and we started off in the kitchen. Okay, she says, "Here I am," and I said, "Where, Becky?" She says, "Near the freezer." And I've got the night vision camera on. I do the lights on and off, and I couldn't see it. I said, "Becky, I can't see you." She says, "Here I am." So in the end, we tried that again in the workshop, in the pitch blackness, and I'm not going to say that I could see a figure of a person, but I could certainly see like a faint grey-white mist that looked the size of a person at the other end of the workshop, that really stood out. But am I going to say that was Becky? No, not necessarily. It could have been, but
yeah,
I couldn't identify it. And I'm very strict with my evidence. I mean, I'm really strict with other people if they put it to me, so I have to apply the same rules to my own work, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. No, I just wondered in what ways that she manifested, around you. Like, did you hear her? Did you? Obviously,
we've got this system. Becky is very, very strong, incredibly strong. So when she's around me, I know how close she is and everything else. And we've also got this communication system. Now, sometimes she'll talk out of the air, but it's got to be very, very, very quiet. Traffic, birds, forget it. You're not going to hear a thing. When I was younger, I used to hear spirits quite easily. It's been proven, clairaudient and everything, with tests and stuff I've done with Steve Murray, okay, which we can talk about another day. But the thing is, as you get older, your hearing gets a little less. So sometimes she's really loud out of the air and you can hear absolutely fine. Other times it's very, very faint, so she will talk out of the air. I can feel her. And if the communication is really, really bad, if I ask her a question, and I call it a buzz, it's like a strong tingly thing, let's call it. That's like a confirmation from Becky as a yes. So sometimes that's how we communicate. If I ask her a question, I'll get a buzz. If I'm talking about something,
right,
she'll do that to confirm it. So we've got a really good communication system going.
And does she sort of wait for you to call her?
No.
Because she initiate the conversation.
If she wants me, I will feel it. I'll get this buzz, and I'll grab the recorder and I'll say, "Yes, Becky." We did that. Patsy's just standing over there. Come on in here. She's standing there. She's standing there like goddamn. I'm feeling all guilty now. Okay, let me just sort of chair out, because I've got to be nice until at least till after we're married, haven't I? So, hold on. Does that work? Try that.
There we go.
Let's see if that works. It does. There we go. Okay.
This is Patty Kool Hale. I call her Cool Patty.
Yeah.
And she's Don's fiance, and she just
Yes.
bought a wedding dress, and I know they've been looking at rings and all that good stuff. I told Tony, I said, yeah, because he was going to come on. I said, well, bring Cherie. I said, once again, I'll be the fifth wheel. It'll be Don and Patty and Tony and Cherie and poor old Renee all alone. That's okay. All right.
Yeah, we have some technical difficulties. I've got two amazing mics, neither are working, so we're on this microphone now. So speak a little bit.
Yeah, not the best audio, but at least we can hear you. At least we can understand it. But
so we were just talking about the communication, the way she communicates sometimes.
Exactly.
A recent example was last time I was here, wasn't it? I was going to the store.
What are you talking about?
When she said, "Don't go to the store."
Oh yeah.
I've been going to the store every single day. I did all the running around and everything, so I didn't want Patty to maybe pick up COVID.
This was before the vaccine.
This is pre-vaccine.
Yeah.
I've been out every single day, twice a day, even sometimes, with a mask on, obviously. And I was just about to go to the store, and I got that buzz, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the recorder up. I said, "Yes, Becky." She said, "Don't go to the store today." Did you hear that on that microphone? Don't go to the store today. Are you there, Renee?
Renee's gone.
We've lost her. No, she's coming back. She's coming back.
Oh, there she is.
In a big puff of smoke.
Yeah.
See that?
I was listening.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did. She said, "Don't go to the store today."
Don't go to the store today. Now, I don't question anything. Okay. Does she know about an accident in the vehicle on the way? That day, would I come into contact with COVID or whatever? I don't know. But she does this. She's done this quite a few, well, maybe a good half a dozen times roundabout over the years. One example was when Patty was with me in the UK. We got a ticket booked for her to come back. And Becky said, "Don't get on the plane today." Yeah, and we changed the ticket because of that.
Because we trust her.
Well, you've learned to, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, poor Patty, when she first met me,
It's like the early days, Patty, because I understand you were a bit skeptical. And so you asked him, "Yeah, is this for real?" And anyway, you ended up finding yourself close by where he was going to be appearing. And so you ended up getting together. So what was it that convinced you about Becky, or that made you feel comfortable with Becky?
Comfortable with Becky, I wouldn't say. I was never uncomfortable with Becky for some reason. I watched him do the investigation at the Keith Linder house. And
Becky was an integral part of that, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. And
information.
So, and I'd never been on an investigation before. I was interested in the paranormal, but I'd never, witnessed it. So to see it in things that were incredibly, I can't even explain really. There was one thing after another, some evidence that, and then we went to a location that's just 5 miles down the road. You're not going to mention the tree, are you? I am.
Okay. That was pretty much it.
That was it. I mean, I was,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know what he did. And so we went to this tree because he met a Native American lady there, because Keith's house was affected by the Native Americans and the Irish, different things.
So we went to meet.
So yeah, they went. Him and Steve went and met this Native American lady at this restaurant. And by the restaurant was this Native American burial ground, and this house, this old house that was actually a mortuary, And there was a big tree by it. And so that's why we call it the tree. And so after they had their meeting with this lady, he went out and he felt some energy.
Well, she went to shows around.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
Yeah, and he felt some energy.
I walked past this tree and I was like, I didn't realise it was the tree.
This is my story.
I know.
Okay.
Now, now you're acting like a white.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so he felt this energy. And so later that night, given the next day, I was supposed to take them back to the airport. You know, we were just so tired. But he said, can you take us back out there? I want to see what that energy is all about. Sure. So we went back to this tree and things just went off. And you can take it from here because I don't know how much I can say.
Oh, I've got permission to speak.
Yeah, now you can speak.
Okay.
I told you were going to be outnumbered for a while, Dawn.
Hey, I'm happy to take.
You got me, Patty, and Becky. What do you want?
Okay, so this is quite a complicated thing, and I had to do this thing which no one had seen me do before, including Steve. It wasn't planned, but I had to do it with Becky. There was a lot of, I don't use words like demons, but there was a lot of, let's call them undesirables and negatives in this tree, around this tree area, not in the tree, around this tree. Didn't know what the hell was going on. Tony's got 3 clips where Steve's talking about this. I think they're about a minute each. That would probably explain it better after I finish speaking. Okay.
Yeah, Tony can signal us when he's ready.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll go back to that. But there was voices popping out of around this tree. You know, you can levitate, kneel before us.
Up.
You can levitate. We want your power. Reasonable bullshit, and it was absolutely ridiculous to the point. Steve, I mean, he's an investigator and pretty much a skeptic where claims are concerned until they're proven. And he's a pretty big guy, isn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And he said, you know what, Don, this is not paranormal, this is supernatural, and this is not my forte. And if this carries on and anything happens, he says, I'm just going to have to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I told Paddy to wait in the car because I knew there was something going on. I wasn't sure what. I
did not want to wait in the car because I was by myself in this parking lot in the car and inside my.
Yeah, that's when I started. Hold on. When I started doing the thing with Becky, what we had to do, Patty was safely tucked away in the car. That was during this point, and then she wasn't too happy with it.
No, because in the middle of my console, I had pens and stuff. You know how you have on your console. They started moving all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And the tree in front of me, there was this tree in front of me, and there's no wind, and there was no other tree doing it. And all the leaves were like, and I was just like, okay, I'm by myself. They're over there, and I'm here.
Backwards more and more.
Yeah.
But he's freezing to death.
I mean, he wanted to protect me, but that wasn't protecting me mentally.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some of it when I was out. We had the camera trying to film it, but it was so cold. Me and Steve got so cold.
The temperature.
It was inside out, and I never experienced that before. And we were like, and it was not a cold day.
No, it started doing this. The temperature dropped. It felt like -20.
It was incredible. And then I saw him do his thing, and
it all stopped.
Huh?
It all stopped.
Yeah, and then it all stopped. I mean, we went back there. A year later?
Just to see how it was.
And it was just calm and
there was nothing. There was no energy. There was no undesirables. There was absolutely nothing.
It was, so they did what they did, and him and Becky.
Well, the thing is, it turned out that unpleasant things happened to infants around that tree.
About 20th century. Ago. Becky said the 20th century. We don't know when.
We don't know exactly what.
But not good things.
But obviously something was there which was not good, and it's gone now. I mean, that's the short version, believe
But occasionally I have to go by there to go to get my hair done or whatever, and I'll always look at that tree on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Oh, I think I found another route. I don't know.
What happened?
I see the Rathmans.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
guys.
We caught you, Sheree. What were you doing?
Good to see you. How are
Good
you,
to
Sheree?
see you too.
Let me
I hear you.
unmute your mic.
Whose? Mine or theirs?
No, Tony's.
Yeah, it's muted.
Uh-oh.
Can you just unmute it?
Oh, he can hear us. He can hear us, so it'd be nice.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Becky. No, I'm only kidding.
Becky, help. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
It locked up. I don't know why it's doing it. Maybe Bill's doing it, but I lose control. I can't
He's
upload the
probably Bill
videos.
sabotaging us again.
Okay. Anyway, I'll start again.
No, he's
Hey,
like
guys.
that. He's just mean.
No, it's not.
Hi, Sheree.
Hi, Renee. Hi, lovely.
Of course, Tony Rathman is back with us with his wonderful wife, Sheree. You guys just had a wedding anniversary not too long ago, didn't you? Wasn't it? Or was it your birthday? I saw something.
It was
about
Sheree's birthday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looked like a nice time.
51.
And we got the bride to be and groom to be there.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
it is. Yeah, you can tell they're a good couple, can't you? They seem like they've been together a long time, except they're still so nice to each other.
I know.
But of course, for the hitting is it's not good.
I've said to her, I've got to come and be nice to her till at least we get married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then all that shit just stops.
exactly.
Little word of advice: happy wife, happy life.
life.
There
you go.
That
is true.
Right on.
It's so true. Now, Tony and Sheree, how did you guys end up getting in contact with Don and Patty?
Well, I had been actually friends with Don on Facebook for a number of years before we actually started communicating. And it was really funny because I had actually reached out to him. He had done Tracy Austin's show, and it was, big success. And I was very interested at that time about Don's abilities, what he was capable of doing. And Tracy would always give me information. Oh, Don was telling me about this and that. You really should, you should get in contact with him. You should meet him. And then I actually wrote to him. Oh man, I don't even know how long ago that was. A year ago to have him on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence because he's got some amazing captures. Well, we started talking, and then we started communicating on a regular basis. And I don't want to mention names or what it was involved with, but I had gotten this call from this woman who was curious about the Evox, and she wanted to know if I would have the capability of helping solve a murder case that happened many, many, many years ago. Well, in talking to Don one night, Don says, wait a minute, is this so-and-so and such and such? And I'm like,
no.
Yeah, how do you know
it was
that?
The same thing?
Well, I can't get into details because so much has happened and I don't know where it sits, but that's kind of how it started. And yeah, he had gotten information through Becky about somebody who had maybe committed some murders that were tied to this case that this woman was asking me about. And then the uncanny unfoldingness that occurred was just off the charts. And then Don started getting additional information on it. And, Becky was given information saying, we can do this. We can get them who they're looking for. And that's about as much as I can say because I don't know what the current status is and the investigation status.
I said to Tony, yeah, we can almost guarantee it, that's a big thing to say. That is a big thing to say. But
do you know where the investigation stands, Don?
Me and Tony, we've got to sort a couple of things out, haven't we, Tony?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the viewers, listeners won't be aware. I mean, I'm actually here now. I am in the US 1 way.
That's right. Yeah.
Before I was over here for a couple of 3 months, I had to go back and everything, but I'm here now. So now I'm here. We can pick up where I get left off. COVID put me behind with everything about 2 years, which has been an absolute killer. It's caused havoc with us seeing each other. She came over to the UK a little while ago. I've only been here, 3.5 weeks now. It's the first time I've seen her for 5 months.
It's ridiculous. It's just messed everything up so much.
I know.
She's amazing. Hang on in there.
Yeah, you had to.
We stuck it out, and we kind of get in there now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a real crazy thing. Yeah, I just found out literally a minute before the show that another one of my kids has COVID.
Okay.
You're kidding.
No, I've got one that's been quarantined in there for about 10 days. He has COVID. And then my friend who I mentioned last week that's here from Paris. He had lived here in the past and he's moving back to LA. So he was staying here until he gets his place. And on New Year's Day, he got hit by a car on his motorcycle. So just yesterday, he got out of the hospital. So I've got one in one room that can't, because he broke his left arm and his left foot. And then I've got someone with COVID. So I'm like putting food, under the door and taking it into the other. And it's like, I said, I should run a business, a care business.
I know.
Well, I work about that. I don't know if they think I'm Nurse Ratchet or what, but
I work in the school district. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
A little bit worried about that, to be honest.
That is tricky.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
It's like one kid I was sitting I work with disabled kids.
Oh, that's great.
And one kid yesterday, he had a shield, but he was, sneezing and coughing. It's like, now call his dad. He needs to be picked up. Yeah. So it's just part of our lives at the moment. But
it really is. It's been crazy. The kind of worst is for me is the way, obviously, the deaths, that we had early on, especially before we had any kind of, vaccine or anything. But the total disruption of everything, it's like, trips had to be canceled. People got stranded places.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got stranded in England for 2 months.
Yes.
I was supposed to be there for 3 weeks. It was 2 months.
It was
so
awful.
Wild. That is so crazy.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
I just heard yesterday, or actually maybe it was this morning, that France is now raising some of the restrictions from the UK, because I got a lot of friends that from the UK that live in France or live there part-time, and they're stuck in one place or the other. But it looks like that's freeing up a little bit. At least this Omicron thing isn't quite as severe,
Right.
especially, if you're protected already, if you've got your immune system boosted. But anyhow.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we got the initial COVID that was taking everybody out and causing havoc around the world, I was talking to Becky.
I was going to ask you, what does she have anything to say about things like
yes, I'll
things
tell
that
you.
are happening in the world?
I'll tell you I'll tell you a couple of things that she said.
This was before Delta.
Yeah, when COVID came out and there was lots of fatalities and everything. She said those words before anybody even knew. She said, "There's another one, and it's worse coming." She told us that.
Oh,
And then Delta hit.
And then I said,
and it was.
How can it be worse, Becky? She went, "It's different."
Oh, wow.
We knew about that before we even did. Okay. Things like that, excuse me, I find fascinating. When I asked her about the COVID, I said, "Becky, where did this come from, this COVID?" I didn't say, was it in a lab or was it this? Where does it come from? She said, it was on purpose.
On purpose.
That all she said was, it was on purpose. That is all she said.
So that leaves you with more questions,
Right.
you know?
Wow.
And I have no doubt that it maybe wasn't released on purpose, but I have no doubt
Right.
somehow, some way,
It was created on purpose.
on purpose.
And then
Who knows? Could it have been created from nature? Or could have
apparently,
been.
according to the research, she said that couldn't happen
No.
for certain reasons. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, it was kind of a heads up.
What about going forward? Did she say anything about
I've not asked.
the next? Well, when you find out, would you let us know, please?
Yeah.
The thing is, I've got this mindset that life now, it's not about living life, it's about trying to live life. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to survive.
Yeah.
Because we've got this one. And I don't want to go on about this forever because the show's not about COVID. But my problem I've got with this Omicron one is the following. In nature, when something mutates, it tends to be for a reason. It's for itself to survive. Okay? Which means each mutation, even COVID aside, tends to be worse. Okay.
Right. In some way, more efficient.
Yeah. So now we've suddenly got this other one, which is apparently at the moment nowhere near as bad, nowhere near as many deaths or hospitalizations. It would appear it seems to almost taken a step backwards.
Mm.
Now, the problem I've got with that is, as crazy as it sounds, this thing has always done something when it needed to. Every time we think we're getting on top of something else happens, which is crazy. It's almost like someone's actually planning it.
Or it has a conscience.
Yeah, so my problem with this one is at the moment is this one's infecting the whole world even worse than what Delta did, okay? And at a much more rapid rate.
Mm-hmm.
What if that is actually in some way, shape or form making way for the next one?
Yeah.
What if you get, I don't know how to explain it. What if it's like a Trojan horse kind of thing before the next one comes, and maybe the two together do some mutate and make it even worse? I don't know, but it's
not to scare people. But
no, I'm just being realistic. It's just that when things in nature mutate, it tends to be for a reason for its survival.
Absolutely.
So it didn't make sense to me.
Smart.
Almost into taking a step back. That's my take on it. So the jury's out. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. So anyway, that's that.
Well, I think we've got a few minutes left in this hour. Did you want to start looking at some of the videos, or did you want to save that for the second part? I definitely want to take some time during the second hour to like the healing work. Is any of that on the videos?
Well, the healing work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of that, so that'll probably be better in the second half. In the second half, we could probably cover the series. We've got some sneak peeks from some of the episodes and the intros. We can show the footage on the healing thing. There's a whole lot. We've got a lot to get through if we get time.
Well, I've got, another not quite 10 minutes. Is there one video that you'd like for me to start off with?
Well, you know what? We spoke earlier about the tree, what happened.
Yeah.
And me and Becky and Steve and Paddy. I think there's 3 clips in there, is there, Tony? It says Steve 1, 2, and 3.
I have 2 and 3.
Okay. What's the runtime on them? Just a minute.
I can't see it on here. Once they're loaded, all that information disappears.
Yeah.
I don't see 1.
Okay, so
2
if
and
we
3.
hit number 2, it could be. I think that might be the one where Steve. I mean, it'll cut in halfway because it's from a 1 hour thing, and this is just a clip. But I think that's a clip where Steve.
Okay.
Yep. That's where Steve's talking about what happened that night. If I
Okay, great. Let's have a look.
Here's that clip.
And I hear this screaming coming out from his recorder. Now, when it's pressing record, it's dead silent. There's nobody around. As soon as he plays it back, you're getting this screaming at him, saying, "Kneel before us," Beelzebub wants you, and all these sort of things. And I'm thinking, whoa, what the hell is going on here? And I'm taking into consideration, I'm thinking, whoa, I'm taking a few steps back at this time because I'm thinking, hang on, we could be under spiritual attack here. I don't know what I've got myself into. Next minute, I hear him talking with Becky, and Becky says, Becky's sort of, I don't know, it would seem that...
the recorder,
it would seem that he's siding with Becky and they're doing something together. Next minute, Don's sort of got his hands like this, and they're out. And he's like, he's as if like he's forcing some energy at this tree, and and honestly, he looks like he was going to, collapse. And in fact, halfway through, he comes over towards, because by this time I'm heading off towards the car. I'm out of there.
See you, Don.
Exactly.
So Becky, I'm so sorry I couldn't make the date.
Basically, halfway through, he comes over to the car, right, puffing and panting. In fact, he struggled to actually open the door. He's like kneeling down outside as if he's like completely zapped. He gets in the car, he's puffing and panting, and he hasn't resolved it this time. And I'm trying to talk to Don and say, what's going on, Don? What's going on? And he's not telling me much. But basically, he's like halfway through the apple.
But does he know?
Well, yeah, because basically what he does is he kind of gathers himself again. He gets out of the car, slams the door, because he's pumped with adrenaline again. And off it goes for round 2. So I thought, okay, let's see what else we can get a bit on video. And of course, they're screaming at me again, we can levitate you, we want your power, and all this. So
are they offering something?
This is, it's like, it's like come to us. They want him. Now, I don't know if they want him to kill himself and go with them in a spiritual sense or what. I just don't know. I've just not got the answers.
Wow.
So that's a little. I mean, there's a lot of that. The full thing is on my YouTube channel. It goes on for an hour about various points. But do you know what, Renee? Part of the French, it is rare, but there is some real bad shit out there.
Yeah.
The problem I have is not a lot of people know how or what to do when you do actually encounter that. Now, the only reason that I did what I did and I knew what to do is because of my union with Becky. Okay. If that was something that I don't know. It was bad. I had to do the stuff that I don't normally do publicly. It was Patty's first outing. The stuff in the car started shaking and everything. So she was a little bit freaked. In fact, you was in tears, weren't you?
Yeah, because I was in tears seeing you. I thought you were hurt and you weren't hurt. But to see you go through that.
Yeah, and that's why the whole video is not there, because you know what? I do a lot of stuff and it's not all for public consumption.
No.
Because to do that, I've got to explain everything. And
people would not understand. They're not ready to understand.
People would not understand at all. It's fake, it's lying, it's whatever. I don't care what people think. What I do is real. It's for a reason. It has a real effect. It's for the better good, as Becky.
For the better good, yeah.
As Becky says, whether people believe it or not, I don't care. So I don't need to big anything up. Look what I did and show all this, what I'm doing, everything, because that's not important to me. What's important to me is doing the job what I'm here to do. It doesn't have to all be public all the time. At some point, I may release more stuff to the public, but you know what? It's about timing. That was quite a long time ago. I've done stuff from years ago I never put out in the public domain, just simply because people will not understand it. You spoke earlier about Brian Allen. No, you didn't. It wasn't him, was it? No, it was. No, it was another guy you was talking about earlier. Okay, talking about Becky in a kind of a negative sense, and it frightens you because he didn't understand what was happening. That's his perception, which he's then laying on you, which then gives you a perception, right. And so the links in the chain continue, and it's never going to end well, Yeah. Then you've got the skeptic side of things. Now, I do very well with skeptics. Initially, when I hit the scene, I got shot from all corners for what I was saying and everything before I started running a lot of video on my workout and before I started working with parapsychologists and being tested. Because if you're going to make claims, people in the paranormal field are used to hearing claims all the time. You know what? It's just a Christmas story or a Christmas tree story.
Anybody can say anything. Yeah.
So you put your head above the parapet, expect to be shot from all sides. That's it. Expect it. That's the field that you're in. That is what the paranormal is now. But once you start putting meat on the bones, as they say, and surrounding yourself with the very people there to debunk you, like scientific kind of parapsychologists and everything, and when they're all saying, wow, we've done this test, and they're all singing off the same page, the skeptics tend to go away then. I've not heard from skeptics for a long time since I've been putting stuff out. That's been independently verified. And I just think it's a great shame. There's a lot of resources that are wasted. We all smoke.
But you have to also consider there are hoaxsters out there.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the problem. And this is
difficult when there's something really authentic. It's like because people have been hoaxed and fooled so many times.
Years ago,
become jaded. And
years ago, it was a thread pop up. Don Phillips, the fake medium.
Yeah.
And I went on the attack deliberately. I said, I never said that. You said that. I never called myself a medium. Because I simply will not use labels because I don't want to be associated with the charlatan side of things. I'm just me. I just do what I do. It works. It's proven to work over and over and over again. Okay. I don't need to put a label on myself. I don't need an ego. I don't need to bullshit people. It's real. It works. And I'm very fortunate, Well,
has there ever been a time when you thought, because in a way, it's almost like, okay, I've been given this ability or this understanding about something that most people don't know about.
Exactly.
It's almost like it's incumbent on you now to use it. Have you ever thought, gosh, I wish I was just me? And
no, because this is me now. It's been so long from when this is me. It is me. It is what I do.
And you're at peace with all of that. And
I'm at peace with everything. The paranormal to me, like I said to you, it is normal. It's been all my life. It's my back garden. It's my swing. It's my slide. Nothing frightens me. I'm forever getting more curious about things and more questions. And I don't pretend I've got all the answers because nobody could. But when you've got somebody like Becky, believe me, I've got a lot of answers to a lot of stuff. And again, I won't put it in the public domain because it's all about timing. And it's treading on people's toes. It's treading on their belief systems. It's encouraging people to attack you basically because, oh no, that's not that. Because you know what? Everybody knows best and everybody's got all the answers. I've learned that about paranormal. Everybody's an expert. Yeah. And, I don't want people saying, Don Phillips, he thinks he knows it all. Yeah, you know what? I'm a very fortunate person to know what I do, but I don't know. I know the tip of the iceberg compared to what it is. Yeah. We
got to take a break now, but when we come back, we'll see some more evidence. Okay. And I just have to say, Tracy Austin wrote when we were talking about all the mishaps we were having with the tech stuff today. She says, Mercury in retrograde, guys. And we'll be right back if Mercury allows it.
Yeah.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
Welcome to the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. Here you'll find great new content, including the KGRA Classics, great shows from our archives. You'll be able to see the show times and information so you can see what show is currently on air. The on-air live button. So just go to this section and you'll be able to hear the show live with exceptional sound quality. We also have the Vault section. Make sure to subscribe to get access to great content and special features. We have the make content for our latest news and events, so make sure to sign up and you can be part of our forum. So make sure to check out the new KGRA digital broadcasting website, thekgradb.com. We look forward to seeing you there, and we hope that you enjoy the new website.
Welcome back to Night Vision. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Renee Barnett. We're here with Don Phillips and the Invisible Patty, and also with Cherie and Tony Rathman, and having a great conversation about Don and his abilities and some of the evidence he's been able to provide. And as I was saying early on in the show, that's what, hooked me on the Rathmans, because they had the goods, and it was proven to me firsthand. So, it was really great. And then Don has a very unusual set of abilities. And so we're digging into those tonight, and we're going to show you some more examples of those so you can see it for yourself. But anyhow, Don, so what would you like to start with in this hour? Do you want to talk about I want to get into your healing, because I think that's something everyone would be interested in. But I don't want to jump the gun if you had something else.
No, hey, it's your show. It's fine. That's not a problem.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, that was something I had no idea that you were doing. And then I saw on your website some examples of the work that you had done on animals, on a bird, on dogs. And then you decided, well, gee, I wonder if this would work for humans. Yeah. And so you tried it out on a gentleman who had a heart condition, and his pulse rate was outrageous. I think his resting pulse was something like 125. Oh, look at that cutie pie.
I'm not being outdone. Go fetch Sophia. No, I'm only joking.
No, she's up there.
Cute puppy. But anyhow, but you worked on him for a little while, and you were able to get his heart rate down to a rate that it really had been.
Sorry.
Which was within a normal range, in a high normal, but also you got it around 65, which is just about a regular heartbeat. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, or how do you want to begin your healing evidence here?
Right. It's unusual, to say the least, for a human to be able to absorb, call it energy, spirit energy, whatever energy you want to call it, okay, learn how to use it and project it. That's the first thing. Now, it was quite a long time before then. I was out on a location. I was doing a documentary with Channel 4, okay, a TV documentary. And I suddenly got this massive hit, and it absolutely knocked me to six. You'll see the effect it has. I didn't know what it was, where it was from. I didn't know what the hell was happening, okay. That was my first introduction to this energy. I got used to the strength over time. I guess you could equate it to your first glass of whiskey. It like knocked you for six, and then you get used to it. And this is literally what happened. So in the first clip, it shows you on this investigation. At this point, there is no Becky. Okay, it was just literally pure energy I got hit with, which totally knocks me for six. I'm talking to the cameraman, TV cameraman, said, "You look tired. You need a coffee." And all of a sudden, from nowhere, bang. So that was that, okay? Then I got introduced to Becky. She's taught me how to use it. And I've learned to, I don't know the words for it really. Do you know what? It's just imagine it's like a battery and you get this massive charge. It only lasts for so long, because as soon as you expel it, it's all gone.
It's
and depending on how hard you push it, it can go very, very quick. So from there, I was getting used to this over time, and we was at the Tutby Castle doing an investigation with Steve, and a portal was opening above, which I was aware of. And I said this to Steve, but I have to validate everything I say. I have to get some validation, else it's just a story of, oh, that's interesting, because like I said, everybody makes claims. Chris Andrews was there with parabolic microphone on, and this is when Becky was around. I said, Becky, if there's a portal forming here, can you just say portal? She went, portal. Chris Andrews about fell off the floor. He said, "Oh my God, I just heard
tears
that."
in his eyes.
I heard
that clip. I love that.
I heard a woman's voice. She said portal, right? Then it opened, and then I got hit with this energy. But my goodness me, do you know what? It was insane.
Because you have to understand about the energy before he can explain the healing.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've got this, and I've got so much I've got to get rid of it. And now this was not part of an experiment or anything. I needed to just aim it at anything. Yeah. And I know that Steve had actually got his dowsing rods.
Right.
I said, Steve, grab the rods. And he just did that. And I just started hitting them. And they was going all over the place. I was crazy pumped up. And
I love that clip.
Around.
So, the point to this being is, at that point, I knew I could absorb energy, store it, and blast it out. To what purpose, to what end? I don't know. Well, that's great. I can move rods or things or whatever, you know. It was in my workshop sometime after that, I was talking to Becky and I was asking about healers and spiritual healing. Is it real? Is it, you know, because she tells me everything. So if you could ask and get answers on a whole variety of subjects, you would ask a lot of questions like I did.
Well, yeah.
And she didn't say it's real or it's not real. She said 3 words, which blew me away. She says, "You can heal." And I'm like,
wow.
Well, how? What? How do you do that? What do you mean I can heal? It didn't make any sense to me. Okay. Coincidentally, a little time after that, my daughter came in with a mouse. Daddy. Well, actually, one who got its head missing. I said, "Sweetheart,
yeah.
Win."
Nothing I can do with that.
That's a life. That's going to be frowned upon, you know. I put it in my hand, and this massive energy started building. And I instinctively just started with this mouse. Within a crazy short period of time.
Not the one with the head off.
No. Let's be right. No,
yeah.
The other one. It was lukewarm, but even if the fleas were leaving its body, it was flat, it was motionless, it looked dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on another show, someone said, "Don brought this mouse back from the dead." I'm not claiming to bring things back from the dead. Okay. What I'm saying is, it was very, very, very poorly. But what fascinated me. What blew me away is that was the first time I did something like that. This mouse came around, and it wasn't the fact it came around. All of a sudden, it was in pristine condition. It was shiny. It was crazy. And then we went from mice, and I went from that
to a crow.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating.
It was.
And then obviously
many dogs.
I was asked if I could have a go at someone with a heart condition. So obviously I had to think about that, because that's not something you want to get involved in, really. But I asked Becky.
Yeah.
You know, I asked Becky, and she basically said yes. So with that extra little bit of confidence, I'm not going to cause any problems. We went for it. So that's the short version, believe it or not. The first clip on there, Tony, is energy clip 1. This is when I first got hit with this energy. Okay.
All right. Here's that clip.
Okay. Its reputation and following is growing fast, gathering attention both within and outside the UK, within the paranormal research circles and communities. Inexplicable events coupled with their uncanny frequency are helping Don Phillips become possibly one of the most significant names among paranormal researchers this century. Reverend Lionel Fanthorpe is also convinced of Don's effectiveness, having studied the field for more than 50 years and being a former president of the Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomena.
Don certainly seems to have a unique ability in this area. Over many years, I'm sure that what he is doing is absolutely honest, and I look forward to investigating his communications as well as whatever entities he may be communicating with.
Don's reputation spread. It caught the attention of Ben Emlyn Jones, who was promptly invited along to a public session.
This is the first time I heard of Becky, and I heard a complete conversation between Becky and Don. Absolutely gobsmacked I was.
Now, what we did was Don played the recordings. He did some of these recordings, which is EVP or AVP, actual voice phenomena, he calls it. some of them are extremely impressive, including one particular one in which you hear a number of men singing, like a male voice choir, and there's another one in which you hear several young boys, sounds like young boys anyway, talking loudly and very clearly indeed. That's the most incredible thing. Extremely impressive. And I was actually there when that was recording. I can assure you there were no noises, no sounds coming in at all at that time. We were all sitting there quietly while Don was pressing the record button.
Renowned parapsychologist Steve Merrow's first encounter on location with Don also left him with more questions than answers.
He was listening to what he believes is some type of communication from the spirits. And of course, what's happened, the result of that is that Don not only picked out the right envelope, he also picked out the correct item that was in it. Well, it was an extremely difficult test because I didn't just bring one envelope, I bought three. You picked one envelope from the three, and not only you picked the right envelope, it's also the right picture in that envelope as well. So statistically speaking, I couldn't even calculate that. It's phenomenal, it really is. And that was quite remarkable. And the results were, as far as I'm concerned, quite amazing.
Oh, we are.
That was amazing. But you know what? I saw a very, very dear friend of mine in that video that I didn't know that you knew, at the Reverend Lionel Fanthorpe.
Oh, yeah, I've known Lionel a long time.
I love him. I love him and Patricia, his wife. They're just perfect. Well, I just love them to bits. He's been on this show a few times also.
Okay.
But yeah, I've known Lionel a long, long time.
He's a great guy.
Oh, he's just wonderful, and definitely into the paranormal and lots of other things that I'm interested in too. So we've got a lot of common interests. But you, you seem to be able to, no matter what someone puts to you, you get some result.
Always.
It seems, like different types of tests and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like there's nothing that, doesn't produce some kind of effect.
So do you have that healing clip or no?
Yeah, well, I was just going to explain that was not even supposed to be shown, that clip. That was so I apologize for that. Honestly, was it, Tony?
I enjoyed it.
No, we're just sorting out some files now. Have you got one there with a crow on it at all, Tony?
A crow?
So that's the other thing about StreamYard. When you upload it, it changes whatever the original picture was.
It just has to be the name. We just have to either the name or the number of the clip.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just basically pick a clip and we'll talk about it after, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me play them in the order I think they go. The next one is 2, which is I think the one you were talking about with the cameraman, and then we'll go to you affecting the rods. Then we'll go to the mouse.
Yeah, do the rod one too.
We'll play that. And then
the rods one is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the next one.
Okay.
This first clip I'm going to show you now, this is the first time I was hit with energy. I was filming for a documentary for Channel 4. The cameraman was tired. We stopped for a coffee.
Need a coffee? Because you're flagging already. Yeah. Jet lag kicking in. Yeah.
Then, from nowhere, I was subjected to a very hard hit of spirit energy. At this time, this energy was totally alien to me, and my body responded accordingly.
Jeez.
I didn't know what was happening, I didn't know what it was, I didn't know how to deal with it, I didn't have a clue at this stage what was going on.
My God, I feel dizzy, mate. Sit down. Oh, what happened?
Wow.
So
did you think that you were having some kind of a physical event, like a heart attack, or?
No, it was just intense, and I was.
Did it feel? Did it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt. It's just very intensive on your body. It's very, very. It's not painful. It's very, very intensive. It's pretty hard to describe, to be honest.
I wish I could get a sense of what it feels like. Is there anything you could compare it to?
No.
Well, look, can I say something?
Please.
That one, Becky.
You're acting like a wife.
Well, I'm always a wife.
How's a wife in training?
What? How many months ago was it? 6 months ago or so?
Well, I don't see you for 5, but before that, so it's probably about a year.
Yeah, we went to Sherwood Forest in England, right?
Yeah, been there.
During COVID, so there was nobody there. It was really late at night. We snuck in there. Anyway, so we were filming something. I can't remember what it was about. Anyway, and so I had wanted to feel Becky, just to feel what it felt like,
Yeah.
And she gave me one time. She said it was the only time she'll do
did.
it. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that she would even do that.
Right.
So and he was out kind of in the woods, and I was standing there by myself. And
I came up to you as it started.
yeah, you did after I said, something's happening. And it was from here all the way down my arms. I mean, it was a small thing of what he gets. It was just like a tiny bit.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, it was just like this incredible feeling. I mean, I can't even, it's not explainable. It really isn't. At the time, though, I didn't know it was Becky. So I thought, well, who's doing this? Later, she said it was her. And it was she
Be
did
careful
that.
what you wish
Does
for.
it feel like a current, like an electrical current or anything?
Kind of.
Not really.
It's more like,
Do you know if you went?
You sort of felt it coming down from your head?
well, it didn't.
It's a hit.
It's a hit, so it's kind of all over your body.
Right.
It gets strong. Put it this way: it's not going down. It's like coming up all over. I see. That's a problem. I can't even explain it.
Imagine doing that and sticking your finger in the socket. Okay.
Right.
That doesn't start anywhere. That instantly, but your whole body's doing this. You feel
Right.
it all through your body. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
So it doesn't move. It's just kind of
bam.
It's that kind. It's not the same as that. It's kind of intense. It hits all your body at the same time, and it's duller than it would be if you stuck your finger in a socket. But it's the effect it has on your respiratory system and everything.
and it's also emotional.
Yeah, that's why
Really?
it's crying.
Yeah, it's emotional, and
That's interesting.
that it didn't surprise me that it's like you can almost feel the emotions of every type of emotion at the same time. That's how I felt
Chris was next standing very close to me at the Tupby Castle in the clip you're going to see with the rods as the portal was opening. He was very close to me and Becky, so he got a bit of a hit, shall we say. It reduced him to tears. His eyes were streaming and everything, and he just said it was the emotion. I mean, so yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's really
But
interesting.
no, at the time, I knew I was being hit something somehow. I didn't think I'm under spiritual attack or anything. I didn't know what it was. I just didn't know what it was,
Right.
You have that experience.
But say, then I learned, got introduced to Becky and learned how to absorb it, use it, and project it. And is the next clip the one at the
Tupby Castle?
Yeah, play that.
Okay.
All right.
So this is what I just explained.
What's this one?
Well, this is the one I was just explaining where a portal opened. I said, Becky, if there's a portal, can you say portal? It was so strong and absorbed.
Oh, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah,
What's the location though? What castle is it?
That's Tupby Castle.
Tutbury.
Tutbury.
Okay, great.
Tutbury.
Yeah.
Tutbury.
Also, we was doing an investigation there, and you know what? There was nothing going on. For 2 or 3 hours, there was nothing. After that opened, there was voices everywhere. The place was absolutely crazy.
Wow.
After that.
And that's what we're seeing now.
That's
Yep.
what we're seeing now.
Here it is.
Okay.
Roll it.
As in this next clip, then I discovered I could use this energy to direct this energy for the purpose intended. He told me I could heal with this energy. I didn't doubt that this was possible if Becky said that it's possible. As time went on, the energies got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I was absorbing these energies more and more and more. It soon came to a point when I felt I needed this feeling, I needed this energy to feel normal. One demonstration of this energy was to take place at Tubby Castle and location with Steve Merrer. By this time, we already knew that I could expel energy. In this clip, you'll notice I tried to move the rods and absolutely nothing happened. This is because as I absorb the energy, it only lasts a certain length of time. It's a little bit like a battery. The energy's got to be there in the first place in order to absorb it, and when I use it, it depletes very, very quickly until the next hit comes along. Shortly thereafter, the portal opened, and again I absorbed the energy. To such an extent, I needed to release it quick. I told Steve, grab the rods. It was too much energy all at once. I needed to get rid of it. I'm being endowed with this energy, I feel extremely strong. That's what's happening now in this clip.
Yeah, I'm just fucking so pumped. I felt like lifting a car off.
Oh, jeez.
That's the base.
Oh, that is wild.
I love that video.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do I.
Now, that's the same location where the guy heard the word portal?
That's it. Just before that happened. Yeah.
I hope we have that one because that guy's face and his reaction was priceless.
Well, we can do another show. You've not got that clip.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It was amazing.
The whole hour thing is on my channel.
Yeah, and it's on your website. So people can go onto your website. And the name of your website again, Don, is...
that is on. It's under the Supernatural Files section on that website, isn't it? That's right, yeah. www.americansupernatural.com.
American Supernatural.
That's all to do with the TV series I'm currently filming. So there's still content to be added, but there's some stuff on there about the series, the Uncovered series.
That clip is definitely on there because I saw it and it blew me away. But now you mentioned, AmericanSupernatural.com is your website. And earlier on, we talked about how Steve, who was kind of a skeptical investigator, said, oh, well, now we're out of the realm of the paranormal and we're into the realm of the supernatural. I'm not prepared to deal with this. Can you explain what the difference is between paranormal and supernatural? I think I've been using those terms interchangeably, but maybe it's something very different.
Well, I guess it's different, but it's the same. I would liken to the paranormal being the supernatural being the next level up from paranormal, because in the supernatural, in the paranormal, a lot of people experience pretty much the same stuff. Okay, on the supernatural level, whether it's things with trees, this, that, or anything else, that's the next level. That's when you're dealing direct with
higher beings
and interacting to an extent where they enable you to do things, to correct things. That's supernatural. When you're dealing directly with really rare stuff, that's supernatural.
Yeah.
I think the supernatural is. I think it's another definition of paranormal, obviously. Yeah, they are entwined, but I just think it's kind of the next level of things that are even more rare than everyday paranormal.
Yeah.
People will say darker or whatever.
Things that impressed me with Cherie and Tony was their attitude toward the spirit world or whoever it was they were contacting or dealing with. They always entered the situation with a lot of respect, always introduced themselves and that sort of thing. Cherie, tell us, do you think that affects the way that you're able to connect with people on the other side or wherever they might be because you have handled it in a more respectful way?
Well, I personally don't have that ability to connect. I don't have that ability. It's just that the way how we investigate with
yes,
Tony and I, the way we wanted to do is give respect to the spirit or to the entity, like they were used to be human or living.
Right. She always treated them as if they were living
Right.
people today.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is the way it should be, because
Yeah.
you know what? The other thing people don't understand is you see there's good and bad investigators, there's good and bad in every aspect of life.
Sure.
And the ones that we're not here to this without meaning the utmost respect. You know, a lot of people just say that, and it doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth. These guys can see
It's
the
what you do. Yeah.
sincerity of a person.
Right.
They really
Yeah.
can. These guys, I never endorse anyone. I've never done that. But you know what? These guys, from what I've seen today, they've just about got it right. Oh no, that should sound disrespectful. They've got it just. They're doing good. How's that?
Yeah. Very good.
Because you know what? They approach it open-mindedly. They don't reach conclusions.
Yeah.
I've watched some of Tony's investigations. You know, I mean, we both work totally different ways, don't we? But at the end of the day, that ethical standard is
Yes,
there. That
that's
is there. That sincerity. Not seeing these as ghost spirits, woo-woo. You know.
Right.
Hey guys, we're here. We want to talk to you. We do want to learn about you. We have got empathy for you. You know.
Yeah.
Tony has got one of the best clips I've ever seen that I mentioned him today. When I saw it, if it had been anybody else, quite frankly, I would have gone, okay. Where was you at a hospital?
Yep.
Okay.
Which one was it?
He's got a camera locked off down a long corridor. There's a door at the end on the right-hand side. Okay?
Yeah.
This is not a shadow on a wall coming in that door. This is a shadow figure walking through the door quite clearly.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at this, because I have to be critical because I apply the same to my evidence I do everybody else's. I was thinking about that. You couldn't fake that, because in order to get, even if that was a shadow, okay, to get that perspective of it at that angle, you would have to have the lighting in a certain way outside to get that shadow inside, okay? There's no way you could do that without the lighting coming through the door. You would see it. You would see it. There is no extra lighting and everything. That is a shadow figure, and that is the best I've seen ever. So good job.
Thank you for that, Don. And coming from you,
it's brilliant. In fact, I'm going to steal it and put it on the next episode of the Supernatural.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Now, are you guys gonna pursue this murder case? I mean, this missing person or murder case that you're working on? You guys have other things planned to do together?
Yeah, we've got. I mean, I like Tony and Sheree. I think they're great people.
Yeah.
But you know, to me, I like sincere people. I like people that don't do the big ego thing. I like people that don't tell lies.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of people the opposite to that in a lot of fields, especially in the paranormal. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's got to be about them all the time and this and everything else. And these guys are just so sincere and good at what they do. I would be really happy to work side by side with them. So we're going to get some stuff going.
Oh man, you guys got to keep me posted.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
What you guys are doing. Okay, so what's up next? What are we going to see? We're going to just give it a try and then talk about it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The next one, I believe, gets into the healing. So this is number 5.
Yeah, we got to get into the healing some more.
Right?
Just play it and see what happens.
Okay.
No, you want to go straight to the mouse?
Oh yeah, the mouse should follow from the last one, actually. Yeah, because the mouse is the first animal that I did. That's what I was saying when Becky said you can heal. So that mouse was the first.
I just want to make sure we get that healing session in with that man, because that was
we're about 2 or 3 away from it. So here's the mouse.
We got time then.
All right.
Great.
Sit down. Oh, what happened? He's made a remarkable recovery. Should I let him go? Come down there and see him go. Yeah, can you stay over the box? You jump out. Oh, he's in there. He was. He just jumped out.
No, he's still there.
Where?
He's on the edge of the box.
I can't see.
He's on the edge of the box. What's he?
He's
now
gone
he's
now,
in the
isn't
tree.
Well, he's all right anyway.
Ugh.
Can you see him still?
Yep, now he's climbing up the tree.
Keep on him.
Now he's at the top of the tree.
Let's have a look.
Two separate mics.
For those of you who might just be listening and not watching, there was nothing wrong. It was just a silent video for part of the time. So once we left the air, we were still just looking in amazement.
But that was deliberate. The sound, I deliberately put the sound in at the time, because at the time I'm making this. That's why I cut the sound out on that. I didn't realise actually that got the two together. That was actually the wrong clip. It got the bit in about.
Oh well.
Again, and the other bit was a bit more
It
professional.
was funny.
But it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was 2 or 3 mice, and then we went on to then there was the crow.
Yeah, show the crow one.
Do we have the crow?
I don't think I have that one. I think it was either wrong format or. Yeah, I don't think I have the crow one. The next one I have actually in the list is Bob.
Okay. Bob.
Okay.
All right, here's that one.
Okay.
Previously, my work had centred around animals. Jennifer asked, could I try and help Bob? I had mixed feelings about this because this, after all, was a human being. And not just a human being, but a human being with a heart condition. This was truly uncharted waters, and as far as I was concerned, not without risk.
Okay, Bob. Come here today to try and help you. Right. Doing what I do, which won't go into right at the moment. So, what's the actual condition is it that we're aiming to do something about or help here?
It's called atrial fibrillation.
Atrial fibrillation. Okay, and that is.
Basically, as my understanding is, the top chamber of my heart basically is kind of quivering,
right,
and it doesn't pump the blood properly.
If it'll work, never try this on a person. So you are the test subject.
It's high.
125 means I'm doing damage.
Your pulse is 152. He's on medication for the blood pressure, but the pulse is really high, and that means it's beating really fast. So what it is the electrodes in the top of his heart. The left and right side did damage.
But I just feel tired.
Fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue, just because the heart's not working properly.
Okay, so the top number is his heart rate.
Yes.
134, 135. The bottom this number here is his blood pressure, 161 over 112. So he's just went up from 130 to 150.
It was time to begin. At this stage, we had no idea of the effect that this would have on Bob, and if it would actually result in anything at all. This was the first time I'd ever tried this on a human being.
I'm going to check his pulse.
Okay. So, Bob, how are you feeling right now?
Better than I was before we started.
You're beating normal.
It was now time to turn to Becky to see what she thought. I switched on the recorder. The immediate response from Becky was a very encouraging, we've done it. But we needed to put this to the test.
68 is his pulse right now.
What's your pulse?
68.
68.
Good.
That is like freaking. Oh my god, I can't believe that's 68.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Now, the thing is, it was temporary. It did eventually. I don't know if it was a day or two or whatever. It did actually go back, but I think he spent quite a long time in hospital, and they was trying to get it down, and they couldn't.
Yeah, Bob's a firefighter, so it really, yeah.
But this is the thing: you can maybe treat the symptom, but not necessarily cure the cause.
True.
Yeah, just like when my dog, she's tiny, right? And another dog fell on her, and you couldn't touch her. I mean, she was just like, we thought, we took her to the vet. She has a back It hurt her back, whatever.
She's in a lot of pain.
And so we were in the car at Fred Meyer or something.
I did a thing on her, and we took her to the vet, and basically couldn't find anything wrong with it.
After that, that's what it was.
Before that, you couldn't even touch
And
it.
then
She was snapping and everything.
And Becky says, took away her pain.
I said to Becky, did we do anything there? Did we take away a pain? And she went, yes.
So it was the pain that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. You know what I was wondering, I was thinking about it earlier today. And I mean, certainly if you can use that energy to, relieve someone's physical symptoms and maybe give them some relief, something like that, you obviously are able to do something with animals that you're able to sort of revive them from either death or near death. And I wonder about applying it to something like people with psychological problems, depression, addiction.
Yeah, now this is the thing as well. I can't switch this on and off.
Right.
I cannot control it. It happens when it needs to. When we was there at Bob's, I had to wait for that to happen. At Bob's, I did Tim's dog as well at the same time. I doubtful anything would happen because I was still worn out from Tim.
Right.
From Bob.
From Bob. I was doing this on his dog and I wasn't feeling it. I said, I'm sorry, Tim, if it's not there, it's not there. I got up and I literally walked halfway down the room, bang, and I got a hit. I just turned around, got straight on the dog, and it did the job.
Wow.
So I have to wait a minute or 2 or 3 minutes for it.
Right.
But it's always there when I need it to be there.
Yeah.
If it's meant to be.
Sorry?
If it's meant to be.
Yeah.
There was a recording prior, I think it's on the main full video of that, when I was addressing the spirit people there, and a guy, I said something, asked something about it, and he just said, we can help him.
Wow.
Right.
So,
I actually have the dog clip. I found it.
Oh, let's see.
Which one is it? Is it the 3-legged dog? Well, sorry, the one on the 3 legs or?
Yeah, it's the one where the
Cocker Spaniel?
Well, there's 2 of them. One's listed as just 324 and the other one's 324 3-1s. I'm assuming they go together because it's the same people in them. So
yeah.
Oh right.
It's the same house.
It might, it just might be a duplicate if it's got a 1 after it.
Yeah,
okay,
it could be a
one of 2. One, if it's the one with Cheyenne.
Yep.
Jennifer asked me to do Bob because of the success I had with her dog. For a long time, he'd been walking on 3 legs, and the vet said it will never walk again on 4 legs because it needed an operation and it was too old and it was in so much pain. So that he says it will never walk again. So she said, "Can you have a go?" It took, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and then this dog was walking down the footpath on 4 legs.
That's crazy.
And now that's after the vet has
And
told
it
her.
lasted.
She's still fine now, and that's after the vet said, no way, she'll never walk on 4 legs ever again.
Oh, I love that. That's so wonderful.
And what I will say is, when you're treating animals, it's different to people. When I was dealing with Bob's is a much longer clip than that, the full one.
Yeah, of course.
You can say to someone, I bet you're feeling better now, I bet you're this,
And they go, oh,
and try and convince them and
Yeah.
everything, psychologically and everything, I was very careful what I said to Bob. I never at any point said, I bet that feels better now, doesn't it, Bob?
Right.
Because to me, it's important to put myself to the test.
Sure.
As well, because I'm still learning about this. I don't know my limit. I haven't found the limitations to this yet. Okay, there will be some, but I don't know where because I've not found any. Okay? But my point being is, when you're actually doing that on an animal, you can't convince an animal it's feeling better.
Good point.
You can't say to a dog, I know you've been told you can't walk on 3 legs, but look, I've just done this. Now you can. You try it. I bet that feels better. You can't do that with an animal. So
yeah.
That's why animals are very significant.
Take it with the animals, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, ready when you are.
All right. Here it comes.
After hearing about my success with animals, that Jennifer asked me next time I was in the United States if I could try to help her dog. The veterinary surgeon had told Jennifer and Bob their dog would never walk on 4 legs again, He had sustained a very serious injury and was too old for an operation. I agreed to try and help.
Do you remember me? Do you remember me?
She was therapy girl.
You good girl.
She was therapy.
So this is Cheyenne, and
After a long time of walking with just 3 legs, Cheyenne was now able to walk on all 4s.
So this is Cheyenne. When I came out to see Cheyenne before, problem was she could only walk on 3 legs and showed in that one right up here.
She had a torn cruciate ligament.
She had a what?
Torn cruciate ligament.
Oh, she had a torn ligament.
And she's too old to do surgery.
That makes it even more significant then, wasn't it?
Because now she's walking with it.
Now she's
When it's torn, they won't put any pressure on it. And now she's putting pressure on it. Can you bring her back?
I'm trying.
So just get this right. It's still torn, but now she's putting pressure on it.
Yeah, so she's walking with it, so she's learning to live with the tear.
But ordinarily, she wouldn't be walking on it with that tear. She would be like this all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite.
Like she was when you got her.
When I first.
She was bouncing
came.
on 3 legs. Call her lucky.
That was an amazing difference when I was somewhere and I came back. Because before she was holding
It was right up here.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it was that instant, wasn't it?
And when you
Afterwards,
did it, she was putting pressure on your hand.
Still doing good.
Still going good. That was now 2 years ago. You know.
How about the dog?
Hank's
dog.
Oh,
that
okay.
was the most incredible thing.
So
Is that this sort of gold Cocker Spaniel dog?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, it is.
But we didn't film it.
No, Hank did.
Oh, Hank? No, not when you first did it.
No, not when we did it. So we
Yeah.
was filming at the Brookdale Lodge for the documentary. And we just went into the store, and Hank was hanging out there because he's like security, handyman, and everything. And just talking, I went on the back of the counter. I looked under the counter, and there's this dog sitting there. I'm not kidding you, and it was just going.
And it's just that
That
dog
was
is
it.
his whole life.
That is all it's been doing all day. So I said, Hank, what the hell is wrong with your dog? And he said, I spoke to the vet. I've got to take her down. He suspects she's had a stroke. I said, can I have a look at her? He went, yeah. And I went down there and sneakily stroking and doing my thing. Within 2 minutes, she was running around the store. She was up. She'd been like it for all day or a day or two.
This day.
Wow. And he's done a little video testimonial. I'm not sure what I've done with it. It's around somewhere, and he said it's like she's a lot younger. She's more sprightly now than she was before. You know, so when you get something so significant, and especially like the 3 legs onto 4 with the dog and things like that, you know, I get a lot from it. I can
imagine. Yeah.
You know,
I can imagine. Now, after you do that, after you do a session and, you expend that energy, do you feel tired afterwards? Do you feel energized afterwards?
No, when I get this energy, I can't emphasize enough the strength that I feel. I feel absolutely like I could pick a car up. I feel superhuman in strength. That's what I feel. But afterwards, it depletes very quickly, depending on what I'm doing. You know, when I was doing Bob, I was really banging it out there. You know, on Cheyenne, I was just, I can control how much I push it. I can control that. Okay, but afterwards, generally, if I do it hard, then I'm really knackered for a few minutes, you know. But it's only temporary, you know. But yeah.
Did you say?
No.
Okay.
That's amazing. All right, so where are we now?
Well, I think there's a second clip to the dog one.
Oh, that will probably be Tim's. Tim's dog had got something wrong with its kidneys or something.
Oh, yes, that's right. This is Tim's dog. You're absolutely right.
Something like that. And he said, oh, can you have a look at my dog? I didn't know he was going to bring it down the same day as I was doing Bob. So I didn't know he was coming. And I doubted I could do anything because I'd just done Bob. And I'd never done one after the other. Okay. I think it got something wrong with its kidneys. Or it's got something wrong with it. And it was lethargic, sitting around all day, wouldn't move. not happy.
It's therapy dog for his wife. She is.
It was not happy. It was lethargic. It was in pain and everything. So this is the one where I said, I'm sorry, Tim. I can't do this. I can't make it happen. I have to wait. And I walked off, and then it hit me. I went back to the dog.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Long story short, after that, it is literally bounding around like a puppy dog. And I spoke to Tim's wife, I think it was about 3 months ago. And this is going back a couple of years now since I've done that. And she says, thank you for doing what you did to my dog. And it's still the same.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, it's like I say, I do get a lot from this.
Oh, I can imagine. That would be so wonderful.
Yeah.
I wonder if, if people are able, maybe not on the same scale, but I wonder if, there are people walking around that have an ability like that to latch onto that or channel that energy somehow, but they just don't realize it.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When he was here last time, when he was just visiting, what was it, a banana? Or an apple?
That sounds really wrong.
No,
it does not sound good.
No.
This is why I don't let you talk.
It was a pin. You put a pin in a banana.
What I told her is,
and a piece of foil.
It's different with me because I get extra strength from extra places, but I said everyone has got some capability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And what I tried to do is see if Patty got anything and trying to teach you to focus. So I said, you've got to start very tiny. So we got a banana, we stuck a pin in it, got a little bit of silver foil on the top, like an umbrella. Okay. I said, don't get really close because the heat from your hands will make it move.
Right.
Okay. She started off and there was nothing happening until I started to piss her off by telling her to focus on something that made her angry.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Not him making me angry, but something in my life that
started to do this.
Wow.
And I got that thing going pretty good.
She was about this distance from it, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody has the ability.
It only did it a little bit for a short length of time, but it didn't matter. It's there.
Yeah.
The biggest reason, do you know what? Let me just interrupt you there. People, I mean, we call ourselves human beings. What is a human being? The only definition you've got to be human being is what you're told.
Right.
What we understand thus far. That's not necessarily who we are or our capabilities. Your biggest prison is your mind. If I wouldn't be able to do what I do, if I got the slightest doubt, I can't go in and say, I hope it works. That's not going to work.
Right.
I've got to go in with a total clear mind and focus. If you've got 5 people in a race and one guy don't think he's going to win that race, you know what? He's not going to win that race. Psychology has got a lot to do with this. I don't want to use cliches, but it's about having a free mind.
Right.
Anything is possible. I'm not just saying it, but actually literally believing that to the point it's almost physical.
Yeah.
That's what will enable people to embrace their abilities and probably abilities that they've lost over the years. Because now we're living in an age and we've got contamination of this, radiation, radio signals. We've got everything. The rubbish that we eat, everything has an effect.
Yeah.
Mentally has a big effect too.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wondered about that because, I mean, obviously you do what you do, but you are just one person and there's only 24 hours in the day. So if there was a way for others to sort of figure out how to do that same thing or harness that ability in some way to help other people or other animals, that would be great. And the reason I brought it up was because a couple years ago, I was over in France and we were at this location. I was out with my research partner, James Martin, who's often on this show with me. He's our historian. And he has all kinds of gadgets and, meters and things to measure energy and all this. And we went to this one site in this little village of Costaza, France, in this field where these strange little stone huts are that nobody knows what they are. They're called capitales. But there seems to be like a lot of energy out there. So we went out there and we were messing around and taking pictures and measuring energy here and there. And I just said, stand right there. I said, I wonder if I could just channel this energy up from the ground through my feet. And so I stood, and maybe I was like 6 feet away from him or something. And I pointed at the meter, and it just went completely whacked. It went completely over. And I thought, okay, that's a fluke. And I did it again. And so I was able to somehow affect it in that location. So I wonder if there's something about,
Well, the earth has a lot of energy. And if you're out there with,
what are
you
we?
didn't
We
have
are.
shoes on, right?
I did have shoes on.
You did have shoes on.
I did. Yeah. It was just kind of a lark. It just like suddenly I thought, I wonder if I could do this. I feel like I could point and shoot that energy out my finger, and, I didn't really say that because I thought, oh, they'll think I'm insane. But I said, just stand there a minute. Let me see if I could, affect that in any way. And it really did. And I'm thinking, if I did that, certainly, I'm not known for having any special abilities like that. Maybe that's just something that we all can kind of do, maybe some better than others, and maybe some more naturally than others.
The thing
But I
is,
wonder if that is something we have at our disposal that we're not even using.
yeah, but I think to varying degrees, because the only way that I can channel and use this energy through my arms to my hands and do what I do is because it is so prominent and so strong, and I can feel it. If somebody is just going up this trying to make something,
right,
you're not feeling it. It's not about tension up, release, and everything. You will literally feel this charge into your hands, and your hands will feel warm and tingly and things. You can literally feel it, and when you do this, you can actually literally feel it flowing. If you can't feel it flowing, you're never going to be able to do that. But the question is, how do you get it to that level that I'm at, where you can physically feel it? I don't mean imagine it or wishful thinking, but literally it's physical. You can feel it.
Wow.
Well,
we're almost out of time, guys. I was going to play some more videos. This is crazy, but I do want to ask you about what you're going to be doing next, and and if there's anything you'd like to say about any of your material on YouTube or anything like that, how people can contact you, or
email address don-phillips@outlook.com.
At Outlook. Okay.
That's that. I've got 2 channels on YouTube which I've not uploaded to for quite a long time, but one's just says Don Phillips, and the other one's called The Supernatural Files, which has got quite a nice mixture of stuff on it. Website www.americansupernatural.com is primarily to showcase the American Supernatural Uncovered series that I'm just finishing off, which we're hoping to get it out there on network TV. Tony, have you got any of the openers for those episodes there?
I do. I just don't know. Do I have time?
We don't have time.
No, we're on time.
We're almost all out of time. We got to cut off. And
okay, I will put them on the. I'll put them on the website tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, please do. Everybody go and visit. And
it needs updating anyway. Do you know what? We've not had enough time to get through half the stuff that we wanted to. So maybe
I know.
A part 2.
You said, "Oh, the show's going to be 2 hours," and I'm thinking, yeah, we've got plenty to talk about. We won't have a problem.
Yeah.
We could have done 3. But,
we really could.
Sheree and Tony, thank you so much for coming in. And Tony, thanks for your extra help.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. And it's always great to talk with Don. And always good to talk with Don and Patty. And this was great.
Yeah. I'll be talking to all you guys. So this is just so long for now. Join us next week on Night Vision, everyone. Okay. Everybody be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other.